Hey guys, what is up? And welcome back to another video. Today we're here for episode number 74 of Goattville updates. And here we are once again over by the aquarium, this other part of the zoo. And I've gotten a considerable amount of progress done on the building and some of the areas around it. Really just been focusing on this and a little bit outside of it, but we'll get to there eventually. I guess we can just sort of get started. I mean, we're just picking up from the last episode with some of the details I've done in the past week. So the first one is right out here outside of the main entrance. I adjusted the size of this little fountain and moved it forward a little bit. And we got a little dolphin statue on top of it. So now it's a little bit more, fitting instead of, just some random pool of water right in front of the doors. So we managed to get that down. I guess let's just go take a little venture inside of here. In terms of the exterior, it's pretty much done. A little bit more work on the interior is needed, especially on this main floor. But aside from that, as you can see, we got the glass roof up there for the little lobby area. I don't know what I'm going to put in here. It feels kind of empty, but maybe that's how we should keep it, just to, sort of go with that open vibe. I'm not too sure. But let's go over here to the aqua theater. This is one of the more recently completed things, and I love the way this turned out. Just the roof is so grand on this, like way more grand than it's supposed to be, but that's a good thing. I mean, just look at this place. It's like so incredible. I've never built anything like this before, and like it just worked out so incredibly well. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it, but just showing it is, it's beautiful. I love the way it turned out. We got little bits of the windows even wrapping around the top, so it looks like a lot of the natural lights coming in. We got some of the structure up here. I don't know if I should include things like a catwalk. I don't know how you would get up there or why you would need to be up there. So I guess it's best to sort of keep it empty. Maybe we should put some more details here in the little water right there, but I'm not too sure. And maybe some details here for like a backdrop. But I kind of like the big window. I think that works good enough. And over here, there's little pathways which lead down to this door right here, which just leads out to the main enclosure. And as you can see, I put a couple rings up there for the dolphins to jump through with. And I actually don't know if they can do that. They probably won't. But we also don't have any dolphins in here. Apparently, if you feed them, you saw it coming in the previous episode that if you feed the dolphins, they'll, stick around. But I haven't tried that yet, and I don't know how I'm going to feed them when I'm working on other parts of the world. I think I'll just sort of, leave this part empty. The dolphins will kind of be, I guess, somewhere else for when all this is taking place. So let's go back to the other part of the aquarium. Over here on the first floor, pretty much empty, but I got some lighting scattered around. The main part is over here. I finished all of this wall right here. I think I finished it. I don't know if it was here the last time, but we got the stairs going up. We got this big window right here, which overlooks the river. And we got a skeleton on display. And it's a whale skeleton. It turned out absolutely beautifully. I don't know. It's not too, scale in terms of in real life, but I think it's pretty close, actually. But you can see up here is the head, the massive bones for the bottom of the mouth. I've seen a whale skeleton in real life, and it's kind of shocking just how massive it is. But yeah, that's the mouth up there, the little fins, and then the rib cage. And there is supposed to be a couple of small little bones over here, which are the last remnants of its legs, but they were small details. I just left them out. But I think it turned out quite nice. It's hard to get a really good view of it, but there is a pretty good view through the window. If you go outside and look through the window, it just sort of got the head peering through, and it turned out quite nice. But I think the second floor we have finished. Maybe a couple more details, like some standard part details to add. But aside from that, the actual enclosures and stuff like that, the main details are finished. I put just one small little bench over here just to fill in the space a little bit, so people can sit down instead of just having to lean on the railing there. We got this little tank right here, filled with various tropical fish and some salmon as well. And if we come over here, there's the overlook of the lobby, a couple more seats, and over here you can actually go, and there's like a little tunnel right here, so some of the fish can swim over the top. They don't really do that, but you can use your imagination. I kind of wanted to include one of these tubes that sort of go through the water, and I wanted to do that in the basement, or I guess not the basement, but with the guardians down on the below ground level. But just didn't really work out in the layout of everything, so I wasn't able to do that. But luckily, I managed to figure that out up there. We're going to put a couple more enclosures here. I have one planned out, and we're going to have a couple more over here. I think mostly the first floor will be, like, we'll put a gift shop or something like that. That's mostly what it will be, because there's not a lot of space for some enclosures. And here's the bottom floor. Nothing much changed with this. It seems a little bit brighter than it should be. Why does it seem so much brighter? Not too sure, but that's not really much of a problem. Anyway, let's come back out here. And as you can see, I'm starting to put in some more park details. Originally, this was all just sort of, the standard layouts, kind of just putting down the design of it, I guess. But now we're putting in some of the actual park details. So we got some benches, a couple trash bins, and water fountains, as well as some lamps, some lights. What are they called? I guess just lights, yeah, that are just scattered throughout. And up here, they've got a little overlook of the river and the newest bridge. Originally, it was just a road going over, but since then, I've put the bridge up, and I'll get into more detail with that later. But this little overlook, we got a couple of seats here, a popcorn stand, a little food truck, and a little ice cream shop right here. I guess not really a shop, but I don't know what you would call something like this. But just a little small little building right there. And a couple more seats, trees, lights, the basic stuff. And I think that's mostly it over here. Just putting in some more detail. Oh yeah, we have a small little fish pond right here they can look in, where the fish just sort of bump into each other and sometimes jump out of the water. So that's kind of fun to watch. And then over here, I have just this little lily pad sort of thing that the children can jump up and around on. I don't know, I thought that was a fun touch. But aside from that, I think that is mostly it for what I've built here in the aquarium in the zoo area. Coming out here onto the main road, this stuff is mostly unchanged, but I did put in, of course, the bridge, all the structural stuff. Kind of went with that industrial kind of infrastructural vibe to it. I think it turned out quite nice. We do need to finish it a little bit over there on that other side, but I think it turned out quite nice. It's rather simple, but that's sort of the charm of it. And it actually, I think it works out quite nice. Maybe we need to put in a couple street lights in here, but aside from that, it's pretty much done. And then over here, we're having another intersection with the highway, brought the highway out all the way down towards where the river ends. And it was actually really easy to make that. I just did some basic world edit and was able to build this entire road in about 2-3 minutes. When if I was back on the Xbox One edition, I would have spent the entire day on that. But I also put in some of the ramps here, trying to figure out the best way to do this, because we do have the trains, the rail yards right here. And I was trying to figure out a good way to handle this, the best way to optimize everything in terms of directions of where the cars were going to make it realistic. So we have a little exit ramp right there, and I'm thinking we're going to put some sort of intersection, and I don't really know how that's going to work. Maybe this can just be a right turn only and we can eliminate all of that problem, but I'm not too sure. I still want to try making things realistic in terms of how people are going to be able to maneuver in this world. So that's something I have to think about. But we do have these little circles right here, which turned out a whole lot better than the ones that we have all the way down there. I would show you, but it's not very impressive. So we got this one. It's got a much nicer curve, much more space, and it, gently, merges up with this road up here. Still have to put in the lines, but that will come at a later time. The road gently sinks down and will go underneath where the rail yards are, just barely making it under without it looking too steep of a drop. And I'm thinking we can get back to the rail yards sometime soon, do some work on that, because it's a pretty fun thing to work on. It involves a lot of copying and pasting, so we can get a lot of progress done in a short amount of time. And just want, I don't really feel like putting the highways all throughout the world, just because it would take way too much time. But with the railways, all we need to do is just put 2 tracks and simple copy paste all the way throughout everything, and it would be a great way of connecting the world. I think that would be a fun idea. But before we do that, there's one project that I'm considering doing next. I think for the next video, I should have all of this stuff done. I don't think that would take more than a couple days to finish, and maybe we'll finish the aquarium and do another tour video for the zoo. But actually, I'm not too sure about that because I still need to put in enclosures for the end, maybe some more of the nether creatures as well as the bees. So maybe the aquarium isn't enough to warrant another tour video. We can wait a little bit longer for that. But the next project I wanted to do is in honor of Dan Lags, if you remember him. It's probably got to be the 6-year anniversary of the start, or maybe 7-year anniversary of the start of Los Angeles, which was the city he made, in case you didn't know, is coming up on September 14th. And I was thinking before we can do that, before that date comes, we should make a building sort of in that, make it Los Angeles inspired. And if you're kind of wondering what I'm kind of going at with that, I'm just making a whole bunch of references that I don't expect you to know, but the Lego modular series is like a collection of advanced sets, I guess. And for their 10th anniversary, they did a certain set that kind of combined aspects of all different parts of the previous builds and sort of made it like one big tribute to all of that stuff. And I was thinking of doing something similar to that, making just like one skyscraper, putting it right here in the corner and having it go up and just having a bunch of design elements taken from various Dan Lags skyscrapers and other stuff from LD. I think that'd be kind of fun. And, make for an interesting build. Another skyscraper here, and actually it will have purpose, unlike that one right there. So, yeah, I think that'd be a fun project to work on. It's probably what we're going to get started on in the next episode. But yeah, aside from that, that'll be it for this video. Leave Majestic in the comments this time if you made it this far. And yeah, thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you later. Bye.